What's going on, guys? What's going on, Ty Squad? What's going on, everybody? Should the Cavaliers make a move? Should the Cavs make a move or a signing? Should they make a trade or a move? A trade or a move? Or a trade or sign somebody? I would say Cleveland should not. The Cavs should not uh, um, make any make any moves because here's the thing about that is that you got a you got a new head coach in Kenny Atkinson. Um, the way that the Cavs are built, they're built fine, and they lost to the Pacers in their 12-game winning streak. And and they went against Shea Alexander and the OKC Thunder. And I'm just going to say this about that game. Is that Shea was cooking. Shea gave the Cavaliers 40, put 40 on them. Shea was getting every easy money bucket. And let me get this out of the way. Is that I think with Shea's a Shea's a MVP for sure. Shea is an MVP, and he's playing like an MVP. But with that said, you gonna let somebody get easy money buckets on you that scored 40 points, 40 points, and and 40 points and 40 points. You gonna let Shea score 40 points? Let me get the elephant out of the room. The way that both of these teams are built, my Cavs and as a Cavs fan, both of these teams are built for a championship contender. And like for somebody to say that when we look at how the OKC Thunder are built, when we look at how Cleveland is built, when we look at how Boston is built, for me to say that as a Cavs fan, to see how all of these NBA teams are built, I'm just going to say this. I'll give all the credit. Darius Garland had a good game. Evan Mobley had a good game. Don Mitchell had a good game last night. Um, Jared Allen had a good game last night. Caris LeVert. Um, um, it's just, what are you going to do? Shea looks like an MVP, and he gave you 40, 40. And I'm just going to say this. The way that OKC is built, before they traded for Shea, before they drafted Chet, before they um drafted all of these pieces. Let me say this. When we look at who the Cavs had, when we look at who the OK Thunder had, before they had Shea, before they had Chet, before the Cavs had Darius Garland, Mobley, Donovan Mitchell. I know I'm about to get off topic here, but the OKC had Russell Westbrook, a Hall of Famer. Kevin Durant, another Hall of Famer. Carmelo Anthony, another Hall of Famer. Paul George, another Hall of Famer, and should be in the GOAT conversation. Um, um, Serge Ibaka. And when we look at who the Cavs had before both of these two teams were built amazingly good, the Cavs had Kyrie Irving, LeBron James. Like when you look at that caliber team, though these two caliber teams that drafted well, that are drafting well, and that is putting their team in the best, situation. When we look at that, it's going to be like this might be a finals preview. Last night shown two undefeated teams. That just wants to win a championship. And we can say, let me get the elephant out of the room. We can say that, honestly, the Cavs had a chance to go 74 and 5, or 75 and 6. We can say that. Let me just get out the elephant out of the room. Because they were in the same conversation before the Indiana Pacers beat the Cavs with the best record. They had a 12-game winning streak. Before the Pacers beat them. And I'm going to say this. I think this is a finals preview. If the playoffs started today in the NBA, we would have seen Cleveland either play against Charlotte or Chicago or whoever's the 8th seed in the East. We could see probably OKC still be the number 1 seed, and probably play somebody in the West Conference. Because let me get this out of the let me say this. Let me get the elephant out of the room and say this. It's that every team in the East and every team in the West are competing for a championship. And we just saw Shea Cook on my Cavaliers. We saw him hit easy money buckets. We saw the entire OKC Thunder play. We saw Alex Caruso, for crying out loud. We saw Alex Caruso dunk the basketball. We saw Alex Caruso dunk the basketball. And you're telling me in that third quarter, I know I'm going on a ramp here, but let me get this elephant out of the room. Is that you're telling me in that third quarter, The Cavs are down 68 or 70 to 117. And Alex Caruso dunks the basketball, which was a good dunk by Alex Caruso. And I think Alex Caruso fits good there for OKC. With OKC. But you're going to let Shea give you 40. You're going to let... Because you still had Evan Mobley. You still had Darius Garland. You still had Don Mitchell, Caris LeVert. Those guys. And yeah, we can say the Cavs beat the OKC Thunder the first time around. But OKC Thunder beat them this time. Beat the Cavs this time. This could be like a NBA Finals matchup. This could honestly be like a NBA Finals matchup. But the question is, like, will the Cavs have that number one seed? Will the Cavs have that number one seed and go forward with it? Because when you say something like that, you're basically saying that this team, this Cavs team, can still make some noise in the playoffs. And probably reach a NBA Finals, because the first stint with LeBron, made the playoffs. And then the second stint with LeBron, won a championship. If we can win a championship without LeBron James on a Cavaliers roster, without a Kyrie Irving on a Cavaliers roster, I can say this. If we win a championship this year, and this is like only this is like only a call for I would say the Cavs are still able to win a championship. But guys, sub if you're new and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there. And stay blessed, everybody. In peace.